If you're considering a move to Leesburg, Virginia, then you need to know these things first. Hey friends, it's Maggie Hatfield here, broker owner of 15 West Homes, right here in the Leesburg, Virginia area, but serving all of Northern Virginia. If this is your first time to our channel, thank you for finding us. Please be sure to tap the subscription button and click the notification bell so you can be notified every time we do a new video. We are getting so many calls, texts, emails from people who are interested in learning more about Northern Virginia, but also Leesburg, Virginia, my favorite. And we love talking about that and trying to help people figure out where they want to live in Northern Virginia. So if you're one of those people and you're thinking about moving to the Northern Virginia area or the Leesburg area, please reach out to us, email us, text us, call us anytime. We want to learn about you, what your needs are, who you're moving with, what your preferences are, and we can help you find the best place to live in Northern Virginia. If you've seen some of my videos already, you know that I am biased about Leesburg, Virginia. I've lived here 25 years, raised my kids here, and absolutely love the area. However, it is important to do your research when you're looking to move to a specific place, and I want to share with you some things you need to consider before moving to Leesburg, Virginia. I'm going to talk about 13 things that you need to know before you make your move here. And I hope by the end you'll be calling those moving trucks and getting ready to come out and join us here in beautiful Leesburg, Virginia. So let's get at that right now. Starting with number one, location. Leesburg, Virginia is part of Loudoun County. Loudoun County is the fourth largest county in the state of Virginia, coming in at about 410,000 residents. Leesburg is the unofficial split east-west of Loudoun County. It is comprised of about 53,000 residents, and apparently the secret is out. I can't take any credit for this, but the secret is out about Leesburg, Virginia, because we have grown 30% over the last 10 years. However, if you have a job that takes you to DC and you have to be in DC most of the week, Leesburg's probably not the place to consider putting down roots. Leesburg, however, is conveniently located to a lot of things, which we're going to talk about in this video. Number two is the downtown area. Downtown Leesburg is the OG town center and has been written up many places about how really charming it is, all the history there, and all the unique shops and restaurants. In fact, on the weekends during the warmer months, the streets are closed off, shut down, so that people can walk, and we encourage people to come and walk and stop in the shops and listen to the music and maybe have a meal or have an adult beverage, because it's super fun to just walk around the downtown Leesburg on the weekends. Secondly, we have a First Fridays, which is the first Friday of every month. Again, businesses stay open late, the streets shut down. You can explore the different shops and different restaurants there. And, you know, it is a lot of fun. There's live music just to walk around and get to know what's available in the downtown Leesburg area. Lastly are all the parades for the holidays. So we have a great Christmas parade. We have a great Halloween parade. We have a great 4th of July parade. So there's a lot of things that are going on in the downtown Leesburg area, which makes it so special. And one of the things everybody talks about when they come to visit, or even if they live here. Number three is home choices. So half of the homes that have been built in the Leesburg area were built before the 2000s, and some of them were even built in the 1800s. We have a lot of homes on the historic register around the downtown area. That said, there's new construction as well, and there are plenty of options for everyone here in Leesburg. I'm going to go through the different home types, talk a little bit about price points. So let's start with the townhomes. The average price point for a townhome here in Leesburg is $663,000. However, price points can range between the low 300,000s and the low millions. So there is a broad range of options when it comes to townhomes here, and it depends on the community that you end up selecting when you move here. Second is condos. Price ranges are very similar. Median price point's a little bit lower. It is in the $353,000 range. So while it is a more affordable thing, the condo fees tend to be a little bit higher in general with condos versus townhomes. Something to note there. But again, the price points range from the low 300,000s to the upper 900Ks, depending again on where you end up looking. Lastly, single family homes. So single family homes, there's lots of options here, both new construction and, as I said before, historic homes. So it is really great for those folks who maybe love history or somebody who maybe doesn't want to have to deal with appliances wearing out or the HVAC wearing out. So you have your options. Median price point for single family homes is in the low 900,000 range. And the range really is about the same as the other two house types. We can start in, the low 400s, maybe even 300s, depending on the size and location of the home, and go anywhere. The high end is a lot higher at like 4 or 5 million, depending on where you're looking. So lots of options there as well. Number 4, top neighborhoods. As I said earlier, there are lots of options here in Leesburg, Virginia, from a housing perspective. And I'm going to highlight some of the top neighborhoods next. If you are looking for a more in-depth discussion around where you can live in Leesburg and more neighborhoods that are covered, please see my video. Link is on the screen below to Where Should I Live in Leesburg, Virginia. It goes into a lot more depth around locations in Leesburg that you can live, types of houses, costs, and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out if you're interested. First one I'm going to talk about is Lansdowne. Lansdowne is a great place for families. It has pools, it has a community center, it has a lot of amenities, and it's close to a town center that's obviously called Lansdowne Town Center. The sidewalks are wide, so you can ride your bikes with your kids down to the town center, grab a bite to eat, check out some of the shops. It's definitely a great location with lots of amenities that you should definitely check out if you're interested. Next up is another set of houses that are more geared towards maybe empty nesters and first-time home buyers, or maybe move-up buyers that want a little more space but not yet a single-family home yet at the moment. And it again is anchored around a town center called Village Walk at Leesburg. In that town center, you got a Weggies. Need I say more? You have a ton of cool restaurants, some of which I'll talk about in a little while. You have a movie theater, you have shopping boutiques, so there's a lot of things in the town center, and it's walkable. It's literally across the street. Lastly, I want to talk about downtown Leesburg. So if you want that downtown vibe and you want to be close to all the cool shops and restaurants that historic downtown offers and around that area, then you need to look at Crescent Place or King Street condos. One is townhome condo, Crescent Place, and then King Street condos obviously are condos. So those could be for people who want that downtown vibe. It could also be for empty nesters, and it could also be for move-up buyers who want more space but aren't quite yet ready for the maintenance requirements a la yard work that a single-family home would bring to them. Next up is hospitals and healthcare. Leesburg has got some of the best healthcare facilities in the whole of Virginia. In fact, my youngest was born in Inova Loudoun, and it's grown so much since then. But in addition to Inova Loudoun, we have Cornwall, which is another hospital facility. And then surrounding both of those hospitals, you have specialized care for any ailment that you could think of or any specialty that you would need. In addition, we're not just for humans, we're also for obviously our pets. We have several veterinary services, but we also have 2 emergency vets for small animal, and then we have 1 large equine hospital that is actually a Virginia Tech equine hospital in Morven Park. It's very close to downtown Leesburg. So there's lots of specialized options to choose from. Next up is schools. Part of the reason why Leesburg and Loudoun County residents have such high salaries, since we're one of the richest counties in the United States, we also have very high household income levels. It's because of our school systems. 97% of high school K-12 students graduate, and they go on to attend really great state schools that we have here, both in Maryland and in Virginia, and in West Virginia, as a matter of fact. And the number of college graduates in Leesburg has been on the rise as well. Number 7, parks. We are really, really lucky here in Leesburg to have access to such amazing parks and recreation facilities, and I'm going to talk about a couple of them next. The first one that I want to talk about is Idly Park. Idly Park is a full-service recreation center that has a fitness center. You can take classes. It has indoor pools and outdoor pools. It has a tennis facility, tennis courts, walking trails, tot lots, swing sets, picnic areas, walking trails. I mean, you name it, it has it. It even has a library attached to the grounds. So it is full service. And the great thing about it is if you are a town of Leesburg resident, for a family membership, it costs about $90 a month. It's like $86 to join. So it's definitely a reasonably priced recreation center and something that I used to take advantage of when I lived in the town of Leesburg proper. Next up is our bike trail, the Washington and Old Dominion Bike Trail. It is a 45-mile bike trail starting west of us in Percival and then ending 45 miles east in a city of Arlington called Shirlington. So if you're so inclined, you could ride 90 miles in a day. Or you could just take a small stint and walk it or run it or take your family or do a small bike trip, whatever works for you. It's available and it runs kind of through the downtown area, so it's easily accessed if you need to get on the trail in the downtown area. Some neighborhoods are also very close to the trail, which makes them highly sought after. Next up is Ball's Bluff. Ball's Bluff is a historic landmark. It's a Civil War battlefield site, but it's now a place where you can go and walk the trails. You can do an interactive tour where it talks about all the different places and what happened there. There's a cemetery, there are cannons, they do live reenactments on the weekend, they do tours on the weekend, guided tours with people, and it is just a beautiful park with lots of walking trails that overlooks the Potomac River. And so you can not only get a good walk in, but you can also see the beauty of the Potomac River. Last up is Raffalo Park. Now that's a smaller park close to Crescent Place and King Street condos downtown Leesburg. But the cool thing about that little park is there's a lot of different art sculptures there. Number 8, crime rate. Your chances of falling victim to a crime here in Leesburg is really, really low. In fact, according to Crime Grade, only 6% of cities in the United States have a lower crime rate than we do. Number 9 is shopping. And I'm telling you, you have your choice. From big box stores to smaller retail stores to unique boutique stores. We have everything in between and then some. One of my favorite places to go, and I've talked about this one in a prior video, is the Luckett store. It is great for finding unique gifts and just unique treasures, from antiques to interior design to yard art to shelving to jewelry to candles, you name it, they have it. They also have a design house called The Foundry that actually sells furniture, but they've staged things in such a way that you can kind of get design ideas. And sometimes they do a nice holiday house in there during the Christmas time frame. It's definitely a place that you need to go check out. It's called the Luckett store. Just a little south of the Luckett store on Route 15 are 2 more antique vintage stores called On a Whim and Rust and Feathers. And again, they have home decor, they have furniture, they have upcycled furniture, upcycled materials. It is a great thing to check out, and it's got a lot of cool, unique treasures that you can go. If you're an antiques buff, you're going to have a lot of fun there. If you want to find a unique gift, you can have a lot of fun there as well. And I'm saving the best for last, and this is, sorry guys, this is only for women, but it's called Madison Belle. It is a upscale boutique for women, has accessories as well as clothing. It's been in the downtown historic district for 19 years now. They offer impeccable customer service, really unique clothing. They do a design service for you, so you can go in, they can style you, and they can tell you what kind of clothes you should be wearing. So guys, it is good for you if you want to buy a gift for your female friend or female spouse. And women, it's definitely something to check out because it's in a single family home, historic home in downtown Leesburg. So the house is beautiful, but the things that you can find in there, you really can't find anywhere else. Number 10, the local music scene. Maybe a surprise to know, but we have a pretty big live music scene here in Leesburg. From our historic downtown venue, the Tally Ho, to our local hangouts, Spanky's Shenanigans, as well as McDowell's Beach Bar, Many of our wineries in the area. One is really famous for its summer concert series, Torero Winery. There are plenty of places to go see live music almost every weekend. Number 11, local farm fresh food. Many of our local restaurants here are what's called farm to table, meaning they source all their food from local sources, local farmers, local livestock raisers, that kind of thing. And we can do it too. We have a lot of local farm markets that we can leverage to buy fresh produce from. Probably the most well-known is Farmer John's. They're open pretty much year-round when there's produce to be had, and they're open every day of the week pretty much. So you can go there and buy fresh produce, fresh fruits. You can get canned goods, pickled goods. You can get pumpkins during the holidays, or Halloween holidays anyway. So definitely a place to check out. And then there's another one that's just right across the street kind of to Farmer John's, and that's Loudoun. They are again open 7 days a week. They have fresh bread, they have fresh pastries, they have little gifts, but they also have the fresh produce and food as well. And let's not forget our local farmers market that runs May through October every year. It's close to downtown Leesburg on Catoctin Circle. It is a farmer's market where a whole bunch of people come in, lots of vendors, empanadas, they have candles, they have olive oil, they have hot sauce, they have produce, they have fresh cut meat from the butcher, and it's all local, and we can support local small businesses, which is a great thing to do. Number 12, we're almost done. I could talk all day about Leesburg, but I will stop at 13. Number 12 is the Culinary Scene. We have a lot of locally owned restaurants, which means there's a lot more diversity in terms of food options in the Leesburg area. I'm going to highlight a few of my favorites, but believe me, I am just scratching the surface here, and there are new ones that open up all the time. So it's definitely something that is a positive here in Leesburg, Virginia. The first one is the Conch. The cool thing about the Conch is it's a small restaurant in the Village Walk in Leesburg, close to the Wegmans, for those of you who remembered from my earlier statement. But the cool thing about them is they infuse everything with chocolate. All their meals, all their drinks, all their appetizers. And while you may kind of be taken aback a little bit, trust me, everything is amazing. The food is unique. It all tastes good. And at the end, you can buy some Belgian chocolates to take home with you. Next up is, if you want a more casual kind of feel, Fireworks Pizza. They have an outdoor patio. They're very dog friendly. It's probably the best pizza that I've had in the Virginia area since I've lived here, bar none. But they also have draft beer from local breweries as well as non-local breweries. So it's a really cool place to just go hang out. We go there for lunch a lot because their food is fresh and it's good, and the pizza's not too greasy, and it's a wood-fired pizza. So it's really, really, really tasty, and can you tell that I like it? I like pizza. Next up is Lightfoot. Lightfoot's been around probably about 22 years. I've been here 25. I don't think they had opened when we first moved here, but it might have been a few years later. They're in downtown Leesburg, and they're in an old bank building. So the woodwork inside of that building is amazing, and they have the original bank vault in there, so that's kind of cool. This is a fun place to go for date night, for a special occasion, or if you just want to go hang at the bar and have a drink. That's a lot of fun. The bartenders are really nice. They'll chat with you, and it's super fun, and it's just, when you go in there, it's like a piece of history, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Last, and that's not in the downtown area, it's over in Lansdowne, which I talked about earlier, is Tequila Kitchen and Bar. And it is a fresh Mexican restaurant that all their items are unique, and they're all sourced fresh, and they're all sourced locally. So when you go in there and you have a meal, you don't feel like that heavy, greasy kind of feel, because it's all really well-prepared, clean, healthy-ish kind of food. And their margaritas are pretty good too. All right, we're on number 13. There's so many great things to talk about. I could talk about Leesburg all day long, but number 13 is the wineries. Loudoun County is known as DC's wine country, and in fact, I think we've nominated ourselves to be called Napa Valley's East Coast. Not really sure where it came from, but I did read it in an article, and I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna talk about 3 of the ones that I frequent, just so you can get a sense of some of the wineries out there. Keep in mind there are at least a dozen more. And the cool thing about it is you can rent a limo with your friends and go do a tasting tour of a whole bunch of different wineries. You can pick routes. Sometimes they're scheduled for you. You just have to check the box and go, I want to go to these 5 or whatever. Stone Tower Winery is an amazing winery with beautiful views. It sits on 400 acres. I think 90 acres are under vine. They have this big building that they built that's more like a Tuscan villa type building, but it's big. It's bigger than a villa. But it's amazing because it's 3 levels, and you have a bottom level, and then you have an underground level. You can have special dinners there. You can do tastings there. They have a members only room. So if you join the Stone Tower Winery Club, you have access to this special room, and they're open later because a lot of wineries have to close at a certain time around here. But it's definitely something you should try. The grapes are great. They have sparkling, all the whites you would imagine, and the reds. So it's definitely something to try. And now they have food. So beautiful venue, definitely something to check out. Next one is Lost Creek Winery. It's a boutique winery. It is north on 15 in Leesburg, so North Leesburg. It is about 50 acres, so it's not as big, obviously, as Stone Tower, but they do have great wines there as well. And they have a wine bar in downtown Leesburg. And it is like a little shishi, so it's good date night, maybe hang out, have a couple drinks before you go see a movie kind of place. I would encourage you to make reservations. Their food is really good there too. It's definitely a place to go check out. It's really well decorated, and I enjoy going there just to have a couple drinks. Next up is Fabioli Cellars. It is in North Leesburg as well. The owner and his family have a lot of winemaking history, so many, many generations of winemaking. And when he moved here, he wanted to start that up in Leesburg. They've been around quite a while, actually. I think they've been around for maybe almost 30 years. So they're one of the older, more established wineries, and they have a lot of award-winning wine. So it's definitely a place to go and check out and see if you like the wines that they make, and just check out. Every winery has great views, so you gotta go see as many as you can to really appreciate all that you can see from a nature perspective here in Leesburg. Okay, so those are the 13 things you need to know before moving to the Leesburg, Virginia area. And hopefully the things I discussed with you today are getting you more excited about the potential of moving to this lovely area than less excited. And maybe you're even ready to call those moving trucks. And if not, if you're looking in the Northern Virginia area proper, then we would love to help you find the right place for you. So you've got to reach out, call us, text us, email us anytime, day, nights, weekends. We want to understand what's important to you, who you're bringing with you, what you like, what you don't like, so that we can help you find the right place to live in Leesburg, Virginia.